All right. So, Kara, you haven't done tapping before, but you've got an idea from what's happened before with others. So, just be open to whatever comes up and let me know.
Yes.
So, what is it that you wanted to work on?
My weight. But I have seen lives where I've starved to death.
And you were talking about things around the throat and the neck.
Right. I have those. I've seen those lifetimes. Some of those lifetimes where I've had my head cut off more than once. My voice speaking up for myself. I've spoken up for myself and others.
Yeah, because you do have a very quiet spoken voice. It's like you're speaking into the back of your throat instead of out. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of air coming out with it. So, so perhaps if we look at the throat and the neck, and of course that might be related to the rest.
Yes, I have asthma and I have something called EOE for my esophagus.
Okay.
Which comes from the acid reflux.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yes.
And I've never been heavy before until a few years ago. I mean, I've always been, not always been thin, but from my cancer I gained weight, and then I lost weight, and then I went to college, and then somewhere along the line I just...
So tell me about what the cancer was.
I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Right.
In my mouth.
In your mouth.
In my gum.
It's all up here.
In the past life I had it in my neck.
Right.
So,
Okay. Even though I've had all these neck, throat and mouth issues.
Even though I had all these neck, mouth, and throat issues.
In this life.
In this life.
And in other lives.
And in other lives.
And they're still affecting me now.
And they are still affecting me now.
I ask my guides and higher self.
I ask my guides and higher self.
And the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
And the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
Where does this come from?
Where does this come from?
So I can release it once and for all.
So I can release it once and for all.
As a being of light.
As a being of light.
With full free choice.
With full free choice.
I choose to release it and let it go.
I choose to release it and let it go.
All of those lifetimes.
All of those lifetimes.
Those throat issues.
Those throat issues.
Those neck issues.
Those neck issues.
All of the lifetimes.
All of the lifetimes.
Where I had my head cut off.
Where I had my head cut off.
Where my body and my head were not connected.
Where my body and my neck were not connected.
That feeling of trauma.
The feeling of trauma.
And drama.
And drama.
Unfinished business.
Unfinished business.
Still trapped in my DNA.
Still trapped in my DNA.
I choose to release it and let it go.
I choose to release it and let it go.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
In this life and every life.
In this life and every life.
Every lifetime where I've felt the trauma.
Every lifetime that I've felt the trauma.
I choose to release it and let it go.
I choose to release it and let it go.
Thanking my neck.
Thanking my neck.
My shoulders.
My shoulders.
My throat.
My throat.
My mouth.
My mouth.
For hanging on to it all.
To hanging on to it all.
To remind me.
To remind me.
And protect me.
And protect me.
But I choose to release it and let it go now.
I choose to release it and let it go now.
All the way back to all of those lifetimes.
All the way back to all of those lifetimes.
It no longer serves me to hang on to it.
It no longer serves me to hold on to it.
And I choose to see the higher learning and lesson.
I choose to see the higher learning and the higher lesson.
So I can release and let go.
So I can release and let go.
Of the fear of starvation.
The fear of starvation?
The fear of starvation.
The fear of starvation.
The fear of sticking my neck out.
The fear of sticking my neck out.
Of getting my head chopped off.
Getting my head chopped off.
All the patterns that have been repeated in this life.
All the patterns that have been repeated in this life.
All the fears and traumas.
All the fears and traumas.
The drama.
The drama.
The unfinished business.
The unfinished business.
All the karma around my throat, my neck.
All the karma around my throat, my neck.
My mouth.
My mouth.
I choose to release it now.
I choose to release it now.
To every single lifetime.
To every single lifetime.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
Including this one.
Including this one.
I release it and let it go.
I release it and let it go now.
It no longer serves me.
It no longer serves me.
I no longer need that protection.
I no longer need that protection.
And I choose to release it as a being of light.
I choose to release it as a being of light. I choose to release it as a being of light.
I release and let it go
I release and let it go
from the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
from the multi-dimensional layers of my DNA.
It no longer serves me and I choose to release it.
It no longer serves me and I choose to release it.
See how her voice is much stronger
Yeah,
now?
I noticed that too.
Much stronger.
I noticed that.
So did anything come up while you were doing that? Any feelings? So sometimes we don't
No.
get images or messages, it's just an instruction.
Yes, I was focused on doing it, and I actually felt a shift of
Your voice is much
Much-
stronger.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, you're speaking outwards. Whereas before it felt like you were speaking backwards into your
well,
throat.
I'm a little nervous too.
Yeah.
But I have more confidence second round, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, did anything come up like what these guys had? No.
No, but in the past
The
you've
protection
had,
was huge. That word,
yeah,
protection.
the word protection.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. So let's just do a bit more on
And
that.
I noticed that I originally went on this side, and then I went on this side.
Okay. Even though in the past
Even though in the past
I've needed that protection,
I've needed that protection,
I've needed that warning,
I've needed that warning.
it's kept me safe.
It has kept me safe
Because in other lifetimes
because in other lifetimes
I was traumatized.
I was traumatized.
I died.
I died,
And I needed that protection.
and I needed that protection.
But it no longer serves me.
But it no longer serves me,
And I choose to release it.
and I choose to release it.
I'm safe now.
I'm safe now.
Thanking my body for remembering it.
Thank you for my body for remembering it. Thank you.
It did serve to protect me.
It did serve to protect me,
But that protection no longer serves me.
but that protection no longer serves me,
And I'm safe now.
and I'm safe now.
I'm safe to speak out.
I'm safe to speak out.
I'm safe to speak out my truth.
I'm safe to speak out my truth.
I'm not getting my head chopped off for it this time.
I'm not getting my head chopped off for it this time.
It's safe for my voice to be strong
It's safe for my voice to be strong
and to speak out my truth.
and to speak out my truth.
It's safe for me to no longer fear starvation,
It's safe for me to no longer fear starvation,
releasing the trauma around starving,
releasing the trauma around starving,
letting the cells of my body know
letting the cells of my body know
I no longer need to hold on to all of that food
I no longer need to hold on to all that food,
or fear that I'm not going to get more of it
or fear that I'm not going to get more of it,
or that there's never enough.
or there's never enough.
My body can release and let go of that fear now.
My body can release and let go of that fear now.
And I give my DNA permission
And I give my DNA permission
to allow my body to return to normal weight,
to allow my body to return to normal weight,
all the way back to its origin,
all the way back to its origin,
to the way my body is meant to be,
to the way that my body is supposed to be.
releasing the need to have Hodgkin's
Releasing
lymphoma
the need to have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma
in my mouth,
in my mouth.
releasing that all the way back to its origin,
Releasing that all the way back to its origin,
wherever it began,
wherever it began.
the trauma in my mouth.
The trauma in my mouth.
I choose to dissolve it and let it go,
I choose to dissolve it and let it go,
all the way back to its origin.
all the way back to its origin.
Whatever occurred,
Whatever occurred,
what's coming up?
wherever it occurred. Yeah, like it just went flashing through my head.
Yeah, because I could see
It's all
something with the
different.
eyebrows, yeah. I release it and let it go,
I release it and let it go,
all the way back to its origin,
all the way back to its origin,
wherever it began.
wherever it began.
It no longer serves me,
It no longer serves me.
and I choose to release it and let it go.
I choose to release it and let it go.
It's safe now
It's safe now.
for me to feel normal,
It's safe for me to feel normal,
to be normal,
to be normal,
to have normal cells in my body,
to have normal cells in my body,
in my throat,
in my throat,
in my mouth.
in my mouth.
It's safe for me to speak up
It's safe for me to speak up
and be heard.
and to be heard.
It's safe for me to be heard now.
It's safe for me to be heard now.
It's safe for my esophagus now.
It's safe for my esophagus now.
To function normally.
To function normally.
I release all the trauma from the past.
I release all the trauma from the past.
Through all those lifetimes.
Through all those lifetimes.
Into the present.
Into the present.
And out into the future.
And adding to the future.
I choose to stand in my power.
I choose to stand in my power.
In my truth.
In my truth.
It's safe for me now.
It's safe for me now.
The energy supports me now.
The energy supports me now.
And I release all the trauma from the past.
And I release all the trauma from the past. What came up for me at that moment was I told Jerry I forgot about it. I often say, well, I can't eat it. I mean, I can't have it in heaven, so I'm going to have it now. Is that true? That I won't be able to eat it in heaven? I don't know. So that's why I have it. I don't know, and I like every food, all kinds of food, but sweet things I have too much of a sweet craving. So sweets and carbs and things like that.
Even though I've had lifetimes.
Even though I've had lifetimes.
Where I've craved sweet things.
Where I've craved sweet things.
I've craved the need to have the feeling of feeling full.
The need to have a feeling of feeling full.
Because I've always felt hungry.
Because I've always felt hungry.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And that feeling of hunger.
And that feeling of hunger.
And I release it and let it go.
And I release it and let it go.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
To those lifetimes where I felt hungry all of the time.
In those lifetimes where I felt hungry all the time.
Where I didn't have enough sweetness in my life.
Where I didn't have enough sweetness in my life.
And I craved for sweetness.
And I craved sweetness.
Including this life.
Including this life.
All the times I felt empty inside.
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 Where I was faced with death.
Where I was faced with death.
Or the possibility of death.
Or the possibility of death.
Where I felt an urgency to eat now.
Where I felt an urgency to eat now.
Because I didn't know if I'd be able to eat later.
Because I didn't know if I'd be able to eat later.
That urgency to eat now.
That urgency to eat now.
I release it and let it go.
I release it and let it go.
Through all of my lifetimes.
Through all of my lifetimes.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
Including this one.
Including this one.
Where I felt empty inside.
Where I felt empty inside.
Hungry for more.
Hungry for more.
I release and let go.
I release and let go.
Of the fear that I can't have it in the future.
And the fear that I can't have it in the future.
So I have to have it now.
So I have to have it now.
I release and let go.
I release and let go.
Of that fear of not being able to have it in the future.
Of that fear of not having it in the future.
So I have to have it now.
So I have to have it now.
The fear of death.
The fear of death.
I release and let go.
I release and let go.
The fear of hunger.
The fear of hunger.
I release and let go.
I release and let go.
All the way back to the first lifetime I felt it.
All the way back to the first life I felt it.
The feeling of not having enough sweetness in my life.
The feeling of not having enough sweetness in my life.
I release it and let it go.
I release it and let it go.
From this lifetime.
From this lifetime.
And every lifetime.
And every lifetime. I know what it is.
What?
It's love.
This lack of love.
This lack of love.
Through all of my lifetimes.
Through all of my lifetimes.
I choose to release it and let it go.
I choose to release and let it go.
Inviting my guides and higher self.
Inviting my guides and higher self.
To come even closer.
To come even closer.
So I feel their love.
So I feel their love.
I never feel a lack of love.
I never feel a fear. I never feel a lack of love.
I release the emptiness.
I release the emptiness.
The disconnection.
The disconnection.
The lack of love feeling.
The lack of love feeling.
The emptiness inside feeling.
The emptiness inside feeling.
And I fill it up with love.
And I fill it up with love.
From my divine self.
From my divine self.
From my guides.
From my guides.
Releasing the illusion.
Releasing the illusion.
Of lack of love.
Of lack of love.
I release the illusion.
I release the illusion.
Of lack of love.
Of lack of love.
And I fill myself up with love.
And I fill myself up with love.
I've been running on empty.
I've been running on empty.
And feeling an empty feeling.
And feeling an empty feeling.
That was never filled.
That was never filled.
And I tried to fill it with food.
And I tried to fill it with food.
Heavy foods.
Heavy foods.
And I no longer need to do that.
And I no longer need to do that.
Filling up my tank with love.
Filling up my tank with love.
From my guides and higher self.
From my guides and higher self.
I'm never alone.
I'm never alone.
Filling up with love.
Filling up with love.
From divine self.
From divine self.
I never need to feel empty again.
I never need to feel empty again.
And food only looks heavy to me now.
And food only looks heavy to me now.
Feeling fulfilled.
Feeling fulfilled.
And filled with love.
And filled with love.
And food has got nothing to do with it.
And food has nothing to do with it.
Sending my throat, my esophagus, my mouth, love.
Sending love to my throat, my esophagus, and mouth, love.
Feeling fulfilled.
Feeling fulfilled.
It's safe for me to speak my truth.
It's safe for me to speak my truth.
And to be heard.
And to be heard.
And to speak with love.
And to speak with love.
So what colour is that love that fills you?
Green.
It's
when you said sweetness, that's like that like totally helped me understand.
So smell it as well.
Oh, that smells yummy. I can put it on my nose.
So just tapping with the other hand and sending that, it's like a blue-green as well.
Perfect, because that's what I
See how the top of it goes into blue. So the green is from the heart center and then it's going up into the throat.
Those are my two colors.
So it's speaking with heartfelt energy.
Speaking with heartfelt energy.
Yeah, and also that you're safe.
I am safe.
It's safe for me to speak from the heart.
It is safe for me to speak from the heart.
And to feel balanced and harmony.
And to feel balanced and in harmony.
With the world around me.
With the world around me.
Feeling the sweetness from within.
Feeling the sweetness from within.
I don't need to get it from without.
I don't need to get it from
without.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't need to get it from without.
From without me.
Without me.
From food.
From food.
I have the sweetness already within me.
I have the sweetness already within me.
Thank you, my soul.
Thank you, soul.
For the lesson in higher learning.
For the lesson in higher learning.
As I step through the karma of it all.
As I step through the karma of it all.
And bring sweetness into my life.
And bring sweetness into my life.
With every breath.
With every breath.
I'm never alone.
I'm never alone. I'm never alone.
And I'm never empty.
And I'm never empty. Beautiful, thank you.
Beautiful, you're welcome. The blue and the green is about balance and harmony, and the blue is the turquoise blue, which is, say what you feel. So turquoise is the colour that brings the blue of the throat and the green of the heart together, heartfelt communication. Often our feelings come from our intellect as we say what we think is appropriate to speak out and avoid to speak the truth of how we really feel in that moment. Past experiences have left you with a belief that what you say is not valid, or maybe your feelings weren't heard and you shut your emotions down.
I used to suppress myself. As a kid, I suppressed my feelings.
You are safe now to speak your feelings, even if it's angry emotions. When you allow yourself to speak your truth as you feel it in the moment, the words will always come out in an appropriate manner. Someone needs to hear what you're feeling right now. Use the water elemental to open up your higher heart, the part of you that is emotionally intelligent. That creative intelligence will help you speak and feel into being anything you desire to create in your world.
A lot of my dreams lately, or at least have been water dreams, all different kinds of water.
Yeah. And the green angel is about balance and harmony.
Balance and harmony.
So presence of the green angel to calm you and help you work from your heart space to make all the changes you desire.
Great, thank you so much.